Boom shakalaka, an absolutely massive Bitcoin breakout in the works, a minimum price prediction, and a more realistic scenario. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Brandley here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including Willy Woo's minimum Bitcoin prediction for this cycle and a more realistic scenario. Before we get into it, guys, like the video, helps out so much. Come join us on Twitter at the Crypto Love. Now, today, Fear and Greed, 82, down from yesterday's 83, but still in extreme greed. The overall market up 5%. Look at this. We are less than $5,000, less than 10% from a new all-time high. Bitcoin right now at 65,198, Ethereum at 35.10, BNB at 421, Solana 133, XRP 64 cents. Cardano 78 cents, Dogecoin 16 cents, and Avalanche $43. And Bitcoin, after flagging for a few days, broke out in the time frame we were talking about, and right now testing a little bit of resistance on this upper trend channel right here. But should it break out, we could have a continuation of this bull flag all the way up to almost $80,000. And you know what? It may not stop there because there is literally zero resistance above previous all-time highs. Now, reasons for this? How about this? Bitcoin ETF inflows has absolutely blown golds out of the water. Not even close, utterly dwarfed, decimated. Take a look at this. This was gold's ETF inflows. Look at that building up over the months and years. Well, Bitcoin did that in a very short time period, blowing it out of the water. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of people are starting to see that Bitcoin has the best risk-adjusted returns than all commodities, currencies, and stock indices across all market sectors. Simply aping into Bitcoin and sitting there gets you better returns than 96% of portfolio managers. Look at that. You just can't do better than Bitcoin, period. And a lot of people are realizing this now with the spot Bitcoin ETF. They can get it pretty easy. Now pair that with the acceleration of global liquidity. There is no tightening going on globally. Maybe in the US they say they're not printing money, but globally we can see there is an acceleration of global liquidity going on right now. You pair those two things together, and Willy Woo says his minimum price prediction for this year. He says Bitcoin price will go past $125,000 minimum before the end of 2025 just from BlackRock and Fidelity clients if they rotate 3% exposure to Bitcoin. So we have proof here that this is the best investment you can make. And if they just put 3% of their portfolio into Bitcoin, that would be $125,000 minimum just from BlackRock and Fidelity clients. No retail investors, none of the other spot ETFs, nothing. So that gives you a very, I would say, understated minimum for where Bitcoin price could be headed. And there's a lot of evidence that from an on-chain perspective, there's still a very long way to go until we reach euphoria. Taking a look here at proof of work incentives and long-term holder supply, still very far on the bottom, long way up to go right here. Similarly, on this chart here, we have a long way to go before this flips again to the positive that we saw at cycle tops. Again, this one here, nowhere near cycle tops, so there's still a long way to go on these charts. As a matter of fact, Bitcoin right now is just indicating that the bull run is starting. We can see here on Bitcoin market extremes when the MVRV has reached this level, which is the yellow level right here. This has indicated the start of the bull run every single time. The only exception was in 2019 where it flashed yellow for 3 days, but it's unlikely we're about to see a mid-cycle top considering we are closing in on previous all-time highs. So far, we've had 4 consecutive days in the yellow so far. That would mean it's time to send it for this bull run. When you see a chart like this, you probably know what's coming next. So similar to what we saw back here, we had a breakout above this trend line right here. Similar thing, breakout above the trend line, likely headed to the new all-time high. The 2-month parabolic SAR has flipped bullish, and historically, this happens 5 to 6 months away, or 5 to 6 bars away from a new all-time high. This is roughly 1 year's time because these are the 2-month candles. So that would mean that roughly we have a year or less until the new top, which is actually faster than a lot of people are thinking, because a lot of people were talking about the end of 2025. We may have a left-shifted bull run due to the spot Bitcoin ETF, or maybe everyone's going to be surprised and we might have an extended bull run this time. As a matter of fact, right now, Bitcoin versus money supply on the 1-month RSI is bullish for the first time in 6 years. Yes, since the peak in 2018, this is the first time it has flipped bullish. And after it flipped bullish previously, look at what happened to price. Went up dramatically. So things could be set to go huge. How huge? Well, a realistic scenario, taking a look at MVRV Z-score and realized log scale curves, would place a roughly $200,000 Bitcoin by roughly the end of this year, December of 2024. So we'll have to keep an eye on the cbbi.info and also the Pi cycle top to see when that end is coming. But everything is looking good. So that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, push the like button. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.